Well, preparation for first team football carries on anyway, and you're getting ready to start your 7 final games. I'll put it into the nutshell. It's 7 cup finals and 7 cup finals that if you can win them, who knows where it takes you.
Yeah.
You know the whole scenario now.
Yeah. I suppose the good thing is nobody's been winning games of football. The only thing that's changed is the games are ticking down. So the actual challenge hasn't changed that much. We've got to, the time is now. It's as simple as that. We've got to start winning games of football.
You're right. I think there's only Gillingham that managed to put a run together. The other 5 around the bottom haven't won a game in the last 5 matches, and that gap is still exactly the same. So it's still there. It's mathematically still there for you.
Yeah. We've got to turn the tide. You hope that our young squad has learned enough in the last sort of 2 or 3 months to put a run together and get us out of it.
Would you say that the next 3 out of the 4 games, I think if I look at it, coming up, are going to decide the fate? When I'm talking about Fleetwood, Doncaster, and AFC Wimbledon, and incorporating that, of course, will be Sheffield Wednesday and MK Dons, but those 3 are sticking out a mile, aren't they?
Yeah. If you win all 3, you've got a chance, haven't you? If you don't win any, you ain't got any chance really. That's because you've only got 4 games left, and you've not got. You're going to run out of games, so we know what the tail of the tape is, and that's what we've got to make sure that's impressed on the players without putting the fear of God into them, so that they understand that this is the moment.
How costly? I know it's hard to talk about it because it's still open for you. Is it a costly exercise to lose League 1 status to go into League 2 status?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Is it devastating? No, but it's certainly a kick into something that you don't need and try and avoid.
And with all that's gone wrong, because I know you don't look for excuses, but there's many things that have gone wrong since you started back in July. Wherever it takes you, whatever happens, do you feel as though you're going to come out of it the other side stronger and ready for a challenge for what you've had to go through?
Yeah, I think I said it. I think it was the start of this month. This last sort of 3 or 4 months, 5 months, has taught me more than the previous 4.5 years. It's just easier to go into the following day, when everything goes well. But then actually, when you have consecutive days and weeks, months where things aren't going right, you have to take a real good long hard look at everything, obviously including yourself. So you start with yourself. Am I doing everything? Is he doing everything? And invariably, yes, we are. We've just got to change 1 or 2 bits, and then the players themselves. When they come through adversity, I think there's more millionaires that have lost a parent when they're in childhood, early trauma, than there is that's had 2 parents, for example. That's succeeding after real adversity, the worst kind of adversity. And I'm not comparing our football club and but it re-emphasises the point that when you've had an absolute terrible time, eventually you do lift your head up and you go, right, here we go, come on, let's get on with it. And we've got to get to that point now. Now if that doesn't come this season, which we hope it does obviously, then it's got to come. It has to come, because you end up feeling sorry for yourselves, and that's not good. So the emphasis and the onus is on us, each and every individual, us as a collective group, to pick his chin up off the floor and go, right, okay, we might be where we are, but we've got to put it right, and there's only us that can put it right, and that's the moral of the story, if you like, and that's where we're at.
So you would have looked, and you quite rightly said, you've looked at yourself, really had a good look at you, and you feel that you're going to come out of it the other side yourself. You've taken stock of everything, and you're feeling better, even though the position I know with your team isn't right, but you feel better.
Yeah, I do. because of things we've put in place, things we've done, but primarily what we're doing with the players. You know, we've had 4.5 years of success, you know, however, graduated success. And I don't mean just promotions, I'm on about finishing, up until this season we've never finished lower than we had the previous year. That's an unbelievable stat. There's not many teams in 5 years can say that they've done that. Well, that's what we did do. Now we're not going to do that this year. You know, so you know we've not become a bad team or a bad group or bad staff overnight. But we've got to make sure that we don't become bad. we've got to make sure we actually go, right, what have we learned, what have we done, what we're going to do about it, and like I say, stick his chest out, you know, stick his chin out, and walk with his head held high, and knowing that we're doing the right thing by the players, by the football club, and for the fans.
Head of recruitment, we talked about it last week, where you were up to, telling us about you got 4 on your shortlist, 3 interviews and a 1 interview. Where are you now? How far has that moved on?
We're having another meeting on Thursday to hopefully conclude things.
Happy with the way your interviews have gone and the quality of the shortlist that came in for it?
Yeah. Hopefully. Time will tell, I suppose. As with all these things, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But whenever we make a decision for what we see is the best interest of the football club at that given time. And that's not, like I said to you before, we don't do things sort of off the hoof and hastily. We talk about it, we talk it through and have a rational adult conversation amongst, you know, senior management, if you want to call it senior management, whether that's be board members, chairman, academy manager, first team staff, or even first team players. You know, we discuss things as opposed to just making impetuous decisions, and hopefully we've got it right.
Well, a lot has changed when you look at who you're coming up against next since you last played Fleetwood, which was a night, I think one of those nights where you didn't deserve anything and you let everybody down. But a lot has changed there, hasn't it? You know, since then. And I don't know what your team news is at all. We're miles away from it. But I've had a look, and Luke Offord could be the only one player out of the starting 11 that started at Fleetwood. Now that has a change from you as well, but it's all about the next game. Yeah,
I think somebody told me this week that we've actually lost 14 players this year. We've had 14 players that are no longer with us. Well, that's just an incredible stat, and some of that's down to retirement. A lot of that's down to injury and going back. You know, Janelle, for example, Ben Knight, for example. You know, and you know, there's not many teams that have had a turnover of 14 players in one season, which sort of highlights your point, I suppose. But listen, the lads that are in that dressing room, the lads that have been picked, they're giving everything for the football club. I think you can see that. You know, they're committed. We've got to improve cohesion and a bit of quality. And they've got to keep learning, and if they keep learning, they will come out the other side of it, much the same as the group that left us in the last 12 months did. You know, because that's what we have to do. The
facts are there: win it, and the deficit's down to 6. Lose it, and it goes up to 12.
Yeah. It's as simple as that, isn't it? It's as simple as that.
Sounds simple, but it's down to your lads.
Yeah,
you're at home, and you've got to do it. You've got to get the crowd with you. And you've got to give them something to cheer.
The crowd have been terrific by and large, I have to say. And you know, they could make the difference on Saturday. We've had a lot of big followings come to our place recently. I really hope that the fans get behind us on Saturday, even if we're not giving them much to cheer about in the first 3 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it might be, because they could be the difference and forcing that ball over the line, you know, against a team that's not used to winning like ourselves, and that could be the difference. You know. If you're asking me, would I rather play at home or go to Fleetwood, I'm saying we'd rather be at home with our fans, because they can make the difference, and I hope that they understand that, and I hope that they bring the singing voices on Saturday.